Close your eyes for a moment and feel the vastness of your own mind. Thought is not just a function of the brain, it is the brushstroke of creation, the whisper of the infinite shaping itself through you. Every idea, every dream, every vision that has ever changed the world began as a flicker in someone's imagination. Your mind is a boundless canvas where realities are formed before they take shape in the physical world. There are no limits here, no walls to contain you. The moment you realize that thought is the seed of all existence, you awaken to your own creative power. What will you dream into being? What new worlds will you call forth? The universe is waiting for your imagination to breathe life into the unseen. You step into the forest, and the golden light of the sun filters through the canopy, casting long fingers of warmth onto the mossy floor. The scent of pine and earth fills the air, rich and alive. Leaves tinged with emerald and gold rustle gently in the breeze, whispering secrets only nature understands. Ahead, the sound of water trickles, a soft and steady melody weaving through the stillness. You follow the sound, your feet pressing into the damp earth until you see it. A river, silver and flowing, winding its way through ancient stones, glistening in the light. A sudden flicker in the distance catches your eye. Through the lattice of branches, movement. A deer, its slender form blending seamlessly with the dappled light. It steps cautiously, its dark eyes full of quiet knowing, ears flicking at the slightest sound. Another follows, and for a moment, time itself seems to hold its breath. The world is still, sacred, alive, and yet you are not here. You have not seen these trees, felt this sunlight, heard the river's song with your own ears, but you have walked this path in your mind. Without ever meeting you, I have placed this world within you. With words alone, I have painted a picture so vivid that your imagination has taken flight. Is this power not divine? That from nothing we create? That thought, shaped by the tongue, can build entire landscapes in the minds of others? That the unseen, mere ideas, invisible yet powerful, can become as real as the world before our eyes? This is the power of the word, the very force by which the universe was spoken into being. And if we too possess this power, then are we not co-creators? Is the imagination itself not a reflection of the divine? Now ask yourself, was it merely I, a man, who spoke these words to you? Or was it something greater, something vast and eternal, moving through me? For what is this power, this force that allows thought to take form, that breathes life into the unseen, if not the very essence of the divine? The words that reached you did not belong to me alone. They existed before me, before any of us, woven into the fabric of creation itself. Is it not written, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God"? The same power that spoke the stars into being, that set the rivers flowing and the trees growing, now flows through the tongue, through the pen, through the very act of thought itself. So is it I who speaks, or is it God speaking through the vessel of language? If my words have the power to create images in your mind, to shape your perception, to stir something deeper within you, then is this not proof that the word itself is alive? That imagination, creation, and divine will are not separate but one? And if this power moves through you as well, then what does that make you? What if every thought that has ever ignited a spark within you, every dream, every ambition, every vision of a life greater than the one you've known, was not your own, but the quiet whisper of the divine calling you forward? What if the deep yearning in your heart, the desire to create, to explore, to become, was never just a product of your own mind, but God Himself gently nudging you toward the path He designed for you? We often believe that our dreams are our own, that our aspirations are born from personal longing. But what if they are glimpses of something greater? What if they are not mere wishes, but divine invitations, echoes of the life we were meant to live, planted within us by the source of all creation? The painter does not will himself to see beauty in the world. It is placed within him. The writer does not summon stories from nothing. They arrive as whispers from beyond. The seeker does not choose to hunger for truth. The hunger is placed in him by something higher. Perhaps God does not shout, nor does He demand. Instead, He plants seeds, ideas that won't leave you, ambitions that won't die, visions of yourself that feel both impossibly distant and yet deeply familiar. He does not force, but he calls. And when you follow those callings, when you trust that the fire within you is not random but sacred, you begin to walk the path that was written for you before you even knew to seek it. So ask yourself, are your dreams your own? Or have they been given to you as a gift, a divine blueprint, a guiding light toward the fullness of who you were always meant to become? Imagine for a moment that the wisest, most divine force in existence, the very intelligence that wove the cosmos into being, that set the stars in their courses and breathed life into all things, is speaking directly to you, not in the form of a distant voice, not through commands or demands, but through the very thoughts that stir in your heart. Every time you've envisioned a life greater than the one you've known, every time you've felt a dream press upon you with quiet urgency, it was never just your own longing. It was God Himself believing in you. How would that change the way you see your dreams? Would you still question their validity? Would you still hesitate, doubting whether you're capable or worthy? Or would you finally realize that these visions were never born from mere wishful thinking, but from the divine itself, inviting you to step into the fullness of who you were meant to be? If God, the ultimate source of wisdom, power, and love, believes in you, then what excuse remains for you not to believe in yourself? If He has planted the vision within you, then He has also placed within you everything you need to bring it to life. Every obstacle, every fear, every doubt is but a veil over the truth that you were chosen to carry this dream, that it is not only possible but destined, and that the very act of believing in it is an act of aligning with the divine. So now ask yourself, was that dream ever yours to begin with? Or has it always been God's way of showing you who you really are? Now, through this perception that God believes in you, understand something even deeper. You don't have to believe in yourself to succeed, you just do. For so long, you may have been told that self-belief is the key, that you must cultivate confidence before you take the first step. But what if that was never true? What if belief in yourself was never the requirement, but belief in the one who placed the vision inside you? What if all that was ever needed was action? Movement in the direction of the calling, trusting that if the dream was given, then so too was the means to fulfill it. Look at nature. Does the river believe in itself before it carves through mountains? Does the seed question whether it will become a tree? No, they simply do. They move, they grow, they unfold into what they were meant to be because they are in harmony with the natural order, with the intelligence that designed them. And so it is with you. If God, the wisest and most perfect creation, already sees you as capable, then what does it matter if you believe it or not? Belief is not the requirement. Action is. The river flows, the seed grows, and you, when you step forward without hesitation, without waiting for the illusion of certainty, you succeed simply because it was never just you succeeding in the first place. It was always something greater moving through you, carrying you exactly where you were meant to be. So let go of the need to feel ready. Let go of the need to believe in yourself. Just move. Just do. Because God already knows. You are meant for this. In the law of duality, creation is not a choice, it is inevitable. You are always creating, whether you are aware of it or not. If you do not create the things you want, if you do not move toward the visions placed within you, then by default, you will create their opposite, the life you don't want. There is no neutral ground in the act of existence. Every moment, your thoughts, your actions, and your inactions are shaping your reality. If you do not step forward into your dreams, you are stepping backward into stagnation. If you do not create fulfillment, you create unfulfillment. If you do not create abundance, you create lack. If you do not create love, you create loneliness. Not because you intentionally chose these things, but because in failing to choose, they chose you. This is the silent force of creation. It does not stop simply because you hesitate. The river of reality continues to flow, and if you do not direct it with intention, it will carve a path for you, one shaped by fear, doubt, and avoidance. A life not consciously created becomes a life unconsciously surrendered. So ask yourself, if creation is inevitable, why not create deliberately? Why not choose to shape a life that aligns with the highest vision placed within you, rather than allowing the absence of action to shape something lesser? The cost of not creating is not simply nothing. It is the slow, quiet birth of everything you never wanted. Do not believe. You must know. Belief still carries doubt. It is the whisper of uncertainty wrapped in hope. To believe is to say, I hope this is true. But to know is to stand firm in the reality that it already is. Do not pray for it. Do not ask as if it is absent, as if you are waiting for something beyond you to grant it. Understand this, it is already done. Look at the universe, the rhythm of creation itself. The sun does not believe it will rise. It rises. The seed does not believe it will become a tree. It simply grows. The wave does not ask for permission to reach the shore. It moves because it knows its path is inevitable. Creation does not hesitate. It knows. And you, your thoughts, your desires, your vision are no different. The moment you align with what has already been placed within you, the moment you step forward without hesitation, reality bends to meet you. Not because you hoped, not because you wished, but because you understood that it was already written. When you speak, when you declare, when you set your intention with absolute certainty, it is done. So do not pray as if you are without. Speak as if you already hold it. Do not ask for the light. Be the light. Do not hope for the path. Walk as if the path is already beneath your feet. Because it is. It always was. The only thing left is for you to know it. Not following the path does not mean you are standing still. It means you are walking the path of resistance. Suffering is not the result of a cruel world, nor is it a punishment from above. It is the friction created when you move against the current of your own destiny. It is the weight of untaken steps, the heaviness of dreams ignored, the quiet agony of knowing you were meant for more, but choosing to remain where you are. The universe does not force. It does not demand. It calls, it whispers. And when you do not listen, it does not punish. It simply allows the natural consequence of resistance to unfold. A river that does not flow becomes stagnant. A seed that does not root remains buried in the dark. A soul that does not move toward its purpose withers under the weight of unfulfilled potential. This is why fear is not your enemy. Doubt is not your enemy. Hesitation is, because the path was never blocked, only ignored. The pain you feel is not life's cruelty, but life's invitation. The more you resist, the more suffering must rise until eventually you will be forced to see the truth. There was only ever one path for you. And when you finally surrender, when you step into what was always yours, the resistance fades, the suffering dissolves, and all that remains is the ease of alignment, the momentum of destiny, the knowing that you were never lost, only waiting for the moment you were ready to move. Will you move now? Or will you wait for suffering to push you where you were always meant to go? From belief to knowing, what would life be like if you didn't just believe in your dreams, but knew they were real? Imagine the unshakable confidence and clarity you'd feel every day. When you move in absolute faith, without hesitation, you cross a sacred threshold. In that fearless step forward, belief transforms into something far greater: knowing. Belief by its nature carries a seed of doubt. It wonders if something might happen. Knowing is absolute. It carries no doubt at all. When you truly know a truth in your core, belief becomes unnecessary. You don't need to believe in the ground beneath your feet. You simply know it will support you with every step. This quiet certainty is powerful, a calm, unshakable inner truth that nothing can dim. In the state of knowing, you move through life with confidence and grace. It's the difference between hoping the sun will rise and seeing the first light of dawn. Once you glimpse that light, you no longer believe the sun will rise. You know it. This is the power of thought at its peak, an unwavering conviction that what you've envisioned is already real. In this knowing, your mind and heart become steady, and reality begins to align itself with the vision you hold. Prayer as affirmation. At this level of certainty, even the nature of prayer changes. Prayer is no longer a plea or a hopeful request. It becomes an affirmation of what already is. Instead of asking, you declare. Instead of begging, you embrace. When you pray from a place of knowing, you are not trying to convince the universe or the divine to give you something. You are aligning yourself with the creation that already exists in the unseen. Your prayer becomes a confident thank you, a declaration that says, I know this is already done. In this form of prayer, you speak in the language of faith and completion. You feel gratitude as though your desire has already manifested, because in your imagination and in the realm of spirit, it has. True prayer is a communion with the reality you have envisioned. It is confirming and acknowledging, so it is. You are tuning your soul to that reality, allowing what is already yours to flow into your experience. This is not wishful thinking. This is creative power in action, affirming the truth and watching it unfold. Imagination and inevitable creation. Everything begins in imagination. Imagination is divine. It is the spark of the Creator within you. Every invention, every achievement, every transformation in your life first took shape on the boundless canvas of your mind. The moment you vividly imagine and embrace a new reality, a creation is born. In that instant, a seed is planted in the fertile soil of the universe. Nurtured by your feeling and conviction, that seed will grow, and creation becomes inevitable. Your imagination is not a mere daydream, it is the blueprint of reality. When you see something in your mind and know it in your heart, you are breathing life into that vision. Like a seed hidden beneath the soil, your desire is already growing before you see any evidence. You may not see the roots taking hold, but they are there, gathering strength. Hold your vision with faith and do not dig up the seed with doubt. Trust that creation is underway. The laws of life are on your side. What you consistently imagine and feel is true must reveal itself in your world. As surely as night gives way to dawn, the images you nurture within will bloom into reality without fail. Movement in faith. Knowing and imagination set creation into motion, but it is your action, your movement in faith, that carries it into the world. Movement in faith means living as if the outcome is certain, because in your heart, you already know it is. Every step you take, no matter how small, is an expression of that confidence. When you act on your dream without hesitation, you are telling the universe, I trust in this reality. This kind of movement isn't forced or frantic. It is calm and purposeful. It is the natural stride of someone who knows exactly where they are going. Ask yourself, what would you do right now if you knew you could not fail? You would stop hesitating. You would move forward with all your heart and never look back. So do not wait for proof before you take action. Move as though your success is assured. Each act of faith is like watering the seed of your desire. Each forward step shines light on your growing creation. Hesitation and doubt are shadows that can slow your manifestation, but unwavering action shines bright, chasing those shadows away. When you walk in faith, life responds. Doors open, opportunities appear, and support comes, often in unexpected ways, drawn by the gravity of your certainty. The world rearranges itself for the soul that moves with conviction. Step by step, the path reveals itself to the one who marches forward in truth. Embrace the truth of your power. All of these principles unite into a single reality. You are the creator of your world. Your thoughts, your faith, your knowing, these are the tools with which you shape your life. Now the pattern emerges clearly. Imagination forms the vision, knowing makes it real within, and faithful action brings it into form. This is the power that has always been within you. Remember these truths and let them resonate in your being. Imagination is divine. The visions you create within are not idle fantasies. They are the fingerprints of the divine on your mind, the beginning of all new creation. Creation is inevitable. Once you have truly imagined and embraced something with faith, the universe moves. What you sow in mind, you shall reap in time. Your reality must eventually reflect your inner vision. Movement in faith is the key. Stepping forward without doubt unlocks the path. Every unwavering action is a proclamation to the universe that this is already mine, and reality must catch up with your conviction. Embrace these truths and live by them. Do not merely believe in your power, know it. Know that you carry a divine spark of creation within you. When you pray, speak with the authority of one who creates and give thanks that it is already done. Walk each day in the joyful expectation of your vision realized. As you do this, you will witness miracles unfold. You will see the world for what it truly is, a mirror reflecting the light you hold inside. This is the power of thought, the power within you. It is compelling and limitless. The same force that shapes galaxies dwells in your mind. When you align with it fully, when you move without hesitation in the direction of your vision, you become unstoppable. So imagine boldly, know deeply, and move faithfully. Your reality is waiting to be born from the truth you carry. Step into your creative power now, for what you envision is already yours, and what you know shall be. Now try to rid yourself of the notion that you stand under God. You have been taught to kneel, to bow, to look up in reverence as if He is a distant force towering above you. But what if that is not what He wants? What if, instead of submission, He seeks alignment? What if He calls you not to be beneath Him, but to stand with Him, a co-creator, a vessel through which His power flows? You were not made to be small. You were not given the gift of thought, the fire of imagination, and the ability to shape reality just to shrink in His presence. No, He placed these gifts within you so that you might rise, so that you might create alongside Him. This is not blasphemy, it is the deepest truth. Did He not say, "You are God's"? Psalm 82:6. Did Christ Himself not declare, "The kingdom of God is within you"? Luke 17:21. Then why do you still look outside yourself for the power that already flows through your being? Understand this. You are not separate from God. You are an extension of Him, a thread in the divine tapestry, woven from the same creative force that spoke the universe into existence. The power that shaped the stars, that carved the rivers, that set the mountains into motion, that same power exists in you. It moves through your thoughts, your vision, your very breath. Creation does not begin out there. It begins within. Every world that has ever come into being began first as a thought. Every miracle, every breakthrough, every work of art, every revolution, it all started in the mind of one who dared to see beyond what is into what could be. And where does that power come from? Creation does not begin out there. It begins within. Every world that has ever come into being began first as a thought. Every miracle, every breakthrough, every work of art, every revolution, it all started in the mind of one who dared to see beyond what is, into what could be. And where does that power come from? Not from submission, not from waiting for permission, but from embracing the divine authority already given to you. When you think, when you create, when you move in faith, you are not disobeying God. You are fulfilling His will. For He did not create you to be passive. He did not place the fire of imagination in your soul for you to extinguish it with doubt. He did not whisper visions of greatness to you so that you would kneel before them in hesitation. He gave you these gifts so that you would rise, so that you would take your place beside Him as a creator of worlds, a force of manifestation, a being of light that does not ask for permission to shine, but knows it was meant to illuminate the darkness. So rise, create, speak into existence that which already exists in the unseen, not as a servant begging for favor, but as a child of the divine, standing in full awareness of the power entrusted to you. You are not beneath God. You are a reflection of Him. The only question is, when will you start living as such? So now all you have to do to begin is think the first thought. That's it. No waiting, no hesitation, no questioning whether you are worthy or capable. Just begin, because the moment you do, creation has already started. The first thought is the spark. It is the seed from which everything else will grow. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be fully formed. It only needs to exist, because from existence, all things expand. Think the thought. See the vision. Feel it as real, because the instant you do, the universe responds. The energy of creation stirs. The unseen begins to shape itself around your intention. You are no longer waiting for change. You have become the change. This is the power that has always been in you. It was never locked away, never out of reach. It was only waiting for your command, waiting for you to speak the words that call it forth, waiting for the thought that signals the beginning of everything. So what will it be? What is the first thought that will ignite the reality you are meant to live? Because this is your moment, and all that separates you from the life that was always yours is the thought you choose right now. This is your moment, the threshold between who you were and who you are becoming. The line between hesitation and movement, between dreaming and doing. And it all begins with a single thought. You no longer need to believe, you know. You no longer need to ask, you affirm. You no longer wait for permission, you create. Because you are not separate from the power of creation. You are not beneath it. You are not a mere observer of the divine. You are the divine in motion. The world you desire is not outside of you. It is within, waiting for you to bring it forth. Your thoughts are the brushstrokes, your faith is the foundation, your action is the spark that sets it all aflame. So step forward, imagine without limits, create without fear, move without doubt. Because the moment you decide, the moment you think the thought that sets it all into motion, the moment you truly know, it is already done.